More drama to hit the Destiny community. It's not about Divinity or SBMM. Today, it's actually about the penalties occurring on you for pulling out early in your PvP matches. We're going to be talking about that in today's video.
So first, I'm going to go over why some of the people are not liking these changes and the penalties that are coming. A lot of people are saying that sixes are not competitive, okay? A lot of people are saying, you know, what if you have bad connection? And you keep on getting disconnected. And also there's the people out there that are, you know, they get into a match and they're just not having any fun and they're getting blown out and the matchmaking sucks and they just don't want to have anything to do with that match or the people in it, so they pull out early. Now, I can understand people's frustration. At the end of the day, it's a video game. You should be having fun. And if it isn't competitive, you know, at the end of the day, maybe you should have zero penalties for pulling out early. However, I think this is actually a change for the SBMM. Hear me out on this. A lot of people were complaining about connection and having to sweat in every match, but there was one other thing that I heard a lot of people saying. People kept on leaving matches early and making the sixes and all the new SBMM changes really ridiculous because people kept on leaving. So I know that Bungie came out and they did say, and they are trying to address that connection issue. And then they just came out with this, penalizing people for leaving early. Yet, people are still in uproar. So no matter what Bungie does, or any video game for that matter, people are going to be very upset, okay? That's just what people like to do, is complain. And that's where my opinion is kind of rub some people the wrong way, right? So my opinion is, get the fuck over it. Okay, at the end of the day, if you cannot get in to a Crucible match and finish the 10-minute, you know, match, whether it's extremely tough, you know, and there's no reason, and it's going to be a blowout and a mercy, okay, well, if you can't handle the difficulty of a 10-minute match, you know, life is very difficult, right? And people are going to say, what do you mean, WhiteKanye? This is a video game. This isn't real life. I'm like, listen, everything has to do with one another, okay? And to me, video games are actually, could be argued as something good, right? Like solving puzzles, helping you with patience. Like even look at the game Cyberpunk, teaches you a very cautionary tale of not to trust corpos, right? There are some good video games out there, and I think that pushing yourself and going through challenges and going through challenging content is good. It's good for the mind. It's good for, you know, pushing yourself. And if you just take the easy way out, if you can't go into a match without leaving just because you're getting blown out, I hate to see how you're going to deal with life's issues, okay? Life is about discipline, and it's not about, oh, today I feel good, so I'm going to do this, and the days that you don't feel like doing it, you don't do it. No, you just do it because that's the responsibilities and the discipline you set for yourself. So if you want to play video games, my opinion is set the discipline for yourself. Be, you know, committed to the 10-minute match. It's only 10 minutes, and if you really had a bad time, then you can pull out after the match and go do some PvE or swap games. At the end of the day, you don't have to, you know, feel like you're stuck in PvP. And that's the other thing. If you don't like PvP, okay, and you're pulling out early, maybe PvP isn't for you. And I hate to say that because I want more and more people to play PvP. But again, if you can't last 10 minutes in a match, jeez, man. You know, if you can't handle the game at its worst, do you deserve it at its best? You know, do you think that every single match is going to be a pleasant walk in the park and you're just going to win every single one of them? No, you're going to have to lose some of them. You're going to have to learn. You're going to have to push yourself. Now, again, not everybody is leaving matches because of, you know, they're getting blown out. Maybe they're busy, right? They have a family and they, you know, got stuff going on. And I totally understand that. But again, I almost feel like that's your problem, right? You know, at the end of the day, there's other people in here trying to play and have a good time. And every time that you leave, you're hurting their experiences, hurting their team chances of winning. And again, I get that you say life comes up, but if there's a potential of, you know, life stuff coming up, I get emergencies pop up. But yeah, if you can't go 10 minutes without leaving your console, then maybe you shouldn't be in that match in the first place. And that's a conversation you should have with yourself. You know, I can't do it for you at the end of the day. It just seems to me that a lot of people just keep complaining about the issue no matter what it is, and people just take sides, and I just, you know, I'm not saying it's perfect, okay, but what I am saying is that they're trying, right? And no matter what they do, you guys are going to be pretty upset. No matter what I say, you guys are going to be upset, right? Because, well, unless I just am a shill and just say, oh, you know, this is bullshit, and just take it, you know, that's what people would really like. People have had things very easy in video games lately, and man, I sound so cynical, but it is true. Like, at the end of the day, can't we literally play the game that we love without having to leave it? Or, you know, can't we play the game that we love with people having somewhat fair matches, you know? It seems to me only one side wants to win and the other side needs to lose, when there should be a win-win solution. When I used to be a mogul in sales, I used to sell high-end real estate apartments in big old cities and shit. It was a good time. It was a suit and all that good stuff. Bottom line, leaving affects other people. It affects other people more than it affects you. So my argument is just, hey, do your best to make other people's experiences fun as possible. You know, leaving one match isn't going to give you like a permanent ban, okay? Know that. So yes, can you still leave a match and, you know, get away with it every now and again? Absolutely. You're not going to get thrown to the fucking wolves just because you know, disconnected from one match or had an emergency and to leave. It's for really, guys, let's just cut the bullshit right now. I don't want to see any comments of people, oh, that's not why it's this act. No, the real reason is that there are people out there that literally, if the match doesn't go their way, they just leave. And they farm kills that way. They'll leave like 5 matches in a row until they hit that one match where they can get that high KD. But if they look at the other team and they're all better and the match starts going sideways, they straight up leave because they're KD farming and they don't want to have their stats hurt. And that's unfair. And if you don't think that's unfair, and that's one of you guys, well, look, what did you think was going to happen? You're just going to be able to leave every single game that wasn't going your way? No, come on. Come on. But yeah, for the people that do have like some family emergency stuff come up or bad connection, I don't really think that this change is going to truly affect you that much, because it's not like you're just leaving every single match. I think this is really more targeted to the people that, you know, were suffering in the new SBMM changes where a lot of people were leaving, and you got a lot of people trying to abuse the system. And like I said, not every single match is going to go your way. You have to lose some to win some. And there's people out there that just think they can just go into matches and win. And if it's not going their way, they'll just leave. And I don't think that that's fair, and I think they should be penalized. And again, a lot of you are going to be upset, and they're going to sound off in the comments, and I totally respect that. I'm going to read every single one of them. I'm going to do my best to respond to every single one of them as best as I can, because I want to hear your guys' opinions on this. I really do. A lot of people say that it's not competitive, but really, again, if it's really not competitive, why do most people play it competitively? In my experience, I find that competitive players don't turn their competitiveness off. It's just always on. You know, my hunger for greatness, do you think I can turn that off and turn that down? No. It's always there. Kind of like, you know, a sweat. They're always sweating, okay? Whether it's sixes or not. Maybe in the sixes, they get some matches where there's some easy opponents, right? And if that's the case, again, they're just searching for easy opponents and leaving the matches that with hard opponents, taking away the fun experience from the people that just got smashed, and now they could be smashing this team, right? But they said, oh no, this isn't going to be fun for me and my 2 other buddies, so we're going to leave and try and get into another match. And there becomes more and more problems of this balancing issue. If everybody just plays a little bit more PvP, stays in every single match, plays, you know, for a decent amount of time, most people would have some matches they win, and some people would have matches that they lose. And of course, Bungie needs to continuously fix their connection issues and PvP. Hopefully one day even bring dedicated servers. I doubt it, but I do think that at the end of the day, you have to take responsibility. Even if it's a video game, guys. The smallest things in life, from making your bed to going on a walk to working out to eating banana smoothies, can change your life. And literally just committing to 10 minutes in a video game you'd be surprised what that could lead to. You know, maybe you'll stay a little bit longer in the gym next time. Maybe you'll, not skip that smoothie in real life. You know, at the end of the day, it's these small things that we push ourselves to do that might be a little uncomfortable, but we're tougher because of it. I mean, don't you guys want to be a tough SOB like me? I do. And at the end of the day, quitting, how can you defend it? Quitting is not an option. And if it is, well, find a game that you don't want to quit. You know, I hate to say it, but maybe Destiny isn't for everybody. I think Destiny is a fantastic game, and I love the challenge. I love the puzzles. I love the community. I love how satisfying the game is when I finally accomplish something because of how difficult it is for me. Pushing myself to greater limits is what I like to do. And guess what? That's the type of game Destiny is. It's not an easy game. It's not a game where you're going to just have everything handed to you, right? You have to earn it here on Destiny. So again, people that are complaining about it, you know, I'm not hating on you. You have your rights and your opinions, and maybe I haven't even thought of something that is your reason. Like I said, sound off in the comments. I'd love to hear your opinion, whether you hate these new changes or love them. But truthfully, I don't leave too many matches. I mean, have I left a match early? Probably. I'm human. Things happen. Emergencies happen. Absolutely. But do I abuse the system and leave early all the time? Absolutely not. So what I would say is, if you're going to go into a 10-minute match, be ready for it, guys. And if it doesn't go your way and you're really having a bad time after the match ends, then pop out, try a different game. You know, I've been playing Cyberpunk, I've been playing Battlefield, been having a really good time. You don't have to just play one single game. Again, though, Destiny is my favorite, and I do love it with all my heart, and I do love all the people in the game, whether they are sweats, complainers, or noobs, or new lights. I love you all. And I'd love to hear your opinions down in the comments, because again, I'm just one supervillain with my opinions, but I do believe that, even video games need to, push you, and you need to take responsibility for that. And if you don't, well, I think that that's just a shower of how the rest of the challenges in life can be. Because some people will say, video games aren't supposed to be challenging, they're supposed to be fun. Well, I agree, but the challenge is part of the fun. It's not challenging in the sense that this is something that you have no control over and there's this anxiety. It's a video game. You can turn it off and on whenever you want, and there are video games out there that don't challenge you. So if you really don't like a challenge, Destiny's not for you. It's a puzzling, hard, competitive game. Some people will say it's not, and guess what? Then they go to even harder games like Apex, Warzone. That's all fine. But this is still a very difficult game, especially for new lights that weren't playing since D1. If you haven't been playing Destiny for, a couple of years and you just hop in, it's not one of those games that you can just master. And maybe that's one of the issues. A lot of people come in new, they get put up against people that have been playing for years and years and years, and then they get smashed and they just want to leave because it's just ridiculous and it's frustrating. And it's okay, well, then maybe try some private matches out and maybe come back when Bungie has really worked on the SBMM, because I think that it actually has worked pretty darn well. If you go in and you're a pretty newer type player, you're not very good, I think the SBMM is really going to put you in some matches where you can actually compete, practice a little bit, compared to just getting spawn killed nonstop. But again, I talk about that in my SBMM video, and you guys can check that out, which a lot of those comments were people disagreeing with me, but I did have a lot of people also agreeing with me. So, again, let's just see how this one goes. Hopefully I didn't offend too many people out there. But yeah, I'd love to hear the end of complaining about PvP, because, at the end of the day, I'm there to enjoy it, and so are the other teammates. So try not to ruin their fun and their experience, because I never want to do that to you guys. Treat others the way you want to be treated. I know it's weird, a supervillain telling you guys these great discipline lessons and treating others the way you want. It's true though. It really is. And that way we can make a better environment for each other, have better PvP fun, better balancing, and people need to start taking responsibility for themselves. Will they do it? No, they won't. This video might not even crack 100 views, but I still need to push it out. And I still want to share my views on it because, like I said, my views matter to me, and I want to get those out there. And maybe I change someone's views, even if it's one person that, you know, was complaining and was, you know, leaving matches. Maybe they see it a different way now, and they're just like, hey, I see what he's doing. He put a mirror up. I'm going to take a little bit more responsibility. And I do love this game, and I'm just being weak. I want to be stronger. I want to be a tough son bitch.
If you guys enjoyed today's video, make sure you hit that like button, that sub button, that join button, and notifications on always, as it really does help the channel. I'm trying to entertain and help as many people as possible in the world. And of course, as a real life supervillain, take over the world. So why not hit that like button, sub button, join button, and notifications on always. I've been your host, WhiteKanye the Great, and I'll see you in the next one.